Okay, so here we have our Sagar Spindle Moulder, and the Spindle Moulder is equipped with a rolling table and with a set of box joint cutters on the spindle. It's got an overarm bearing support, and that's about 16 inches worth of cutters right there. Um, the rolling table and the overarm bearing support are likely an aftermarket add-on. I believe that the whole thing was probably purchased. The accessories were probably purchased from Wadkin and then installed on this shaper. This is a shaper that I imported from the UK, so it's still set up for 440 volts. I'm sorry, 400 volts, three-phase at 50 hertz. I've got it set up on a transformer here, and I've already test run the motor, so I know that the motor works right. Pretty good running shaper. Bunch of people had commented about what it would be like to make that cut with those staggered cutters like that, and what the experience would be like. I've run the machine once already, and I will tell you that that it is a little bit daunting when you first turn it on, because it spins up pretty good, but there's a point on the wind up and on the wind down when there's some kind of resonance moving through the machine, and it makes everything vibrate a little bit, and so the guards tend to shake a little bit, but it's nothing really alarming. It's alarming the first time it happens to you, and then after that you run it a couple of times and it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this thing up to make the cut, and then I'm gonna go ahead and video me making the cut. One of the things about this is I've already made a couple of cuts on it, and what really surprises me about it is they've got this big guard in front of the cutter guard, which is fine when the workpiece is in the vise and you're in the starting position. But when you move over here, you'll notice that there is no guard in this area whatsoever, and in fact there's nothing at all here. I think it would have been good to put a clear piece of plastic or some other thing here, because the chips will fly out right in your face. So safety glasses are a must, if not a full face shield. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for the cut, and then I'm gonna go ahead and film it passing through, and then show you what the box joint looks like. So we'll get right back to that in just a second. Okay, so here we go. I got the board set up in there, set up at the right thickness. The boards that I'm trying to cut the joint on are the three that you see inside. The two on the ends that are painted white are just sacrificial to keep the ones in the middle from chipping out on me. And I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up and start it. As I said, when it first starts up, you're going to hear some vibration. This thing makes a lot of noise, so I'll probably let you hear the noise coming up, and then blank it out after it gets started. But here we go. So get this thing set to start. Press the start button. Right there. Now we're going to make the cut, make sure the vise is tight. Not sure what that is. Now the machine isn't set up perfectly. You can tell by these joints right here that the top one is a little bit thinner than the rest, but this is me just setting it up for this particular board so I can test it. The wood that I'm using here is some CVG Western Red Cedar, some scrap boards that I had kicking around, and so let me pull this out of here, and then you can see the joints that it cuts them very nicely. As I said, it wasn't set up perfectly because that board wasn't the right thickness. But I'm going to go ahead and try to put these together. Because you're not going to be able to see it, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to restart it. Okay, and so here it is with the joint put together. You can see that I didn't have the machine set up quite right. A little bit short on the cut. By the looks of this and the way that I have this set up, it looks like it was designed so that way you could just pop the board in and rest it on the fence. I wasn't sure of that when I started, but going forward, it looks like that's the way to do it. Spindle needs to be adjusted a little bit, so that way it makes the cut right for the width of the board. But aside from that, it's a good looking, tight fitting joint. As I said, the machine is a little bit scary, but all in all, not a bad machine. Definitely fit for purpose. So there you have it. The amazing Sagar shaper with the gigantic box joint cutting attachment on it. I'd probably do something with this box. Part of the reason that you hear so much vibration is because this thing is just sort of free at the front edge of the table. Probably something as simple as a rubber shim under it with a screw through it would do wonders for it. But once again, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.